at the Windsor Park Sports Stadium as we're preparing ourselves for the 45th anniversary of our beautiful country, the nature isle of the Caribbean, Dominica. We have just seen the arrival of the 5 platoons that will be here this morning, seeing the arrival of one of the awardees from the media, Mr. Ashton Shillingford. Good morning to you, Ivona.
Good morning to you, Cecil Joseph. Good morning to listeners and viewers of DBS Radio. It's a lovely day today, Friday. We had some rain last night, a little rain again in the morning, but we have bright sunshine. A few clouds, but no threat. As we greet you here at the Windsor Park Stadium for this occasion, which is so dear to our hearts, Dominicans, of course, as we celebrate our 45th year of nationhood. So we welcome you here to this outside broadcast, and we'll be sharing the mic with Kwana Fontaine Wilson, Lawen Creole, Julian Morris as well, and we also have former police officer Mr. Ferrall. So we are going to be your eyes and your ears as well as we bring you live this broadcast. Kwana, bonjour.
Hi, bonjour, bonjour Ivona, bonjour Cecil Joseph, bonjour Monsieur Ferrell, bonjour Julian Morris. Nous avons un gros contingent pour mener une grande célébration, le 45e anniversaire d'indépendance au Dominique, qu'on nous a célébré, messieurs, mesdames, à baptême là, à nous célébrer, nous au stade Windsor Park pour mener une grande cérémonie pour officiellement célébrer l'indépendance, nous le 45e anniversaire. En pile monde en stade Windsor Park. Yo tellement excité, bien habillé, dans hard créole, nous c'est militaire, bien paré pour ça. Mais c'est mesdames, comme ça nous avons mené tout ça qui prend place ici, ou que ouais, ou que tan, what did DBS qui mené quoi qui prend place.
And it must be said that as we celebrate, we have been celebrating for 45 years. And the first meeting of the first session of the first parliament under the Commonwealth of Dominica Constitution Order of 1978 was held right here at the Windsor Park Stadium. At the time, it was the Windsor Park. Now it's the Windsor Park Sports Stadium. I remember that very clearly on that
when
day.
The flag was hoisted
when
and Dominica was declared as an independent
nation. And it must be said that there are some people that really champion the cause of our independence. And we remember that at that time, the Speaker of the House was Fred de Gazo. And we also had Patrick John prior to Independence Day. Patrick John as the Premier, and Honorable Henkel Christian. He was then the Minister of Education and Youth Affairs and Cooperative and Deputy Prime Minister. We also had the Honorable Leo Austin, who was the Attorney General. And as we speak, we are seeing a group of individuals doing some match pass. And just to continue, Ivona, that we had Honorable Oliver J. Serafin, Minister of Agriculture, Lands and Fisheries. And I should say he's the only person who is alive as way back as 1978 in reference to a member of cabinet. There are three other people.
Interesting historical data you have there, Cecil. We can go to that in a short while, but let us just welcome Julian Morris and former police officer Mr. Ferrall. Welcome to the broadcast. Julian, bonjour.
Julian.
Merci, Kiwana, Mrs. Wilson. C'est ça. C'est un plaisir pour l'épisode tout. Moun sala, moun qui est important, moun qui a mis des informations, M. Ferrol, John Baptiste Louguet ou même Cécile avait préparé toute l'histoire pour nous, comment nous vivons là, nous y actuellement. Parce que autant fois moun kalon oublier là où vivent un certain état, un certain côté, ou pas en y vivre là comme ça. Ou ka debout sur les épaules les autres monde. Ou comprendre ces monde ça là, ils fait contribution pour pousser ou pour vivre là où il est aujourd'hui. Et ben c'est ça nous enfin célébrer aujourd'hui, c'est un plaisir pour les autres.
Yeah, morning. Let me say good morning to the team and morning to listeners of DBS Radio. And right now we are saying that the parade is now forming up as the 2IC of the parade has just handed over the parade to the commander of the parade, Superintendent Belgrove Charles, who is going to take the proceedings from here. We see we have 5 platoons on parade this morning. We have 2 police platoons, 1 from the Fire and Ambulance Services, and 2 from the Dominica Cadet Corps. We noticed that this year we have not seen the prison services who normally on parade during this independence celebration. However, right now what we are saying, the dignitaries are coming in and the parade commander is now ordering the parade to stand at ease as we await the arrival of the dignitaries.
And as I was continuing saying earlier on, Ivona and others, that at the time when we became an independent state, we had Randolph Banis from Pebush. He was the parliamentary representative for Pebush constituency. He was then the Minister for Home Affairs and Health and Welfare. We also had Eustace Francis, member for the Newton constituency and parliamentary secretary for cooperatives. And you had Luke Corriette, who was the member for Petit Savan constituency and parliamentary secretary for youth affairs. And we had Woodworth Langdo from St. Joseph, parliamentary representative, and we also had BJ Louis, member for the Salisbury constituency, and Kulan Dubois, member for the Cottage constituency, and Eden Bowers, as I said earlier on, is alive still today, was at the time member for the Vickers constituency and deputy speaker, and Romanus Banis, member for the Cassibros constituency, and also AC active, and that is Alphonsus active, Arnold active, sorry, first nominee member, and Emmanuel Martin, second nominee member.
Right.
No, we say senators, but at the time it was called nominated members.
It's interesting that you're saying that, and as Julian Morris was saying in Creole, this is very important for us to know how we have arrived where we are right now. So it's interesting that no one will bring in some history and give you an idea. But as I speak, I can tell you that K1 probably we could go closer to the stage to give a description of the stage. Very, very, very beautiful. As we celebrate our independence, all the colors of Dominica's flag, and you know the madras and the forest green and the yellow in all its beauty. A lot of foliage as well on the stage. A lot of the dignitaries are already seated. The main chairperson is at the podium, Wop duet in all its splendor, the national wear, the colors. What a nice ambience here at the Windsor Park.
Absolument. C'est on sait habiter à nous qu'à célébrer aussi. Il y a pas dit toutes les autres habiter aspects et pendant cela c'est manière nous qu'à habiller, manière nous qu'à porter comme nous et puis gamme et puis dignité. Ces femmes là bien habillées comme on dit, c'est même parlement, même gouvernement. Et puis yo préparer quoi yo ka point ça bien sérieux pour une manière que habillé. Je dis moi ka comme moi ka monsieur, I'm underdressed.
Yes. And just saying this, and I realize the flag of the president is not hoisted, and I think it will be of great importance that Mr. Farrell could help us to have a greater understanding why it is not hoisted, while we are seeing the Dominica flag is hoisted.
All right, thank you, Mr. Joseph. What we're saying now with the arrival of the dignitaries, and as the stage is set for Her Excellency the President, who will be inspecting the parade. Right now we are saying there are 2 sentries on the saluting dais as security for Her Excellency the President. The flag party has just joined the parading troops. The flag bearer, Mr. Second Lieutenant Charles. Now we can see the
arrival of the Honorable Prime Minister. The arrival of the Prime Minister.
Ladies and gentlemen,
and
please stand.
We have now seen
The arrival of the Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit, Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of Dominica, and Mrs. Skerrit.
And just so, as we are saying that, we are seeing now the former President of Dominica has arrived, and also the Speaker of the House has also arrived. And we just heard from the microphone, the Master of Ceremony, who is the Cabinet Secretary, has just given us the note that the Honorable Prime Minister has arrived.
Oui, le Premier ministre est arrivé là actuellement. Ça c'est un signe qui bien qu'à commencer bien là, bon matin à Windsor Park, à stade Windsor Park.
And we can hear the cheers from the crowd here this morning. Just welcoming the Honorable Prime Minister and his wife and his son and daughter. A sight to behold.
Okay, so the Prime Minister, yes, Kiwana?
Oui, Motigani dit que ça c'est un gros aspect cérémonie là aujourd'hui, c'est le Premier ministre Dominique Roosevelt Skerrit avec famille arrivé avec moun qui applaudit actuellement avec a dit bienvenue à Stade Windsor Park.
The Prime Minister is now being escorted by the Deputy Commissioner, Mr. Corbett, and is going to receive the general salute as the parading troops are now waiting for the Honorable Prime Minister to stand on the saluting dais where he'll be receiving his compliment, General Salute. The parade commander is now ordering the parading troops to salute His Excellency. I'm sorry, the Honorable Prime Minister. We can hear the Music Lovers Band now playing the General Salute tune as the troops are at the present arms paying the compliment to the Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Roosevelt Scarrett.
And obviously, yes, we have to let you know what is happening. A lot of people are viewing, but we always have to remember that we are also on radio, and we have to be the eyes and the ears of people who are listening to us. So we have to give a description as to exactly what is happening. So the Prime Minister is making his way upstage now. And very, very lovely day today, Dominica, as we celebrate 45 years as an independent nation.
Please be seated.
And it's of importance also, Ivan, as I made mention earlier, of the persons who were in government at the time, but they were also members of the opposition. At the time, Mary Eugenia Charles was the member for Roseau constituency, and also she was the leader of the opposition. You had Mr. A. Kazimi from Grand Bay. He was a member representing the Grand Bay people. You had P.A.S. Stevens representing the people of Marigot, and Conrad Cyrus, member for the Montjean River Siri constituency. And we also had Lennox Honeychurch, who was the third nominated member, and Michael Anthony Douglas. He was then in 1978 on the opposition side, and when he was sent over by that of Patrick John, moved away from the general government side and was on the opposition. But he was a member for the Portsmouth constituency, and Honorable Ferdinand Parillon from the Collioure constituency. These were the persons who were actually present on that night, but also too we can see that L.A. Dubois, Daru was member for the Salibe constituency, and Anthony Moise from the Soufriere constituency, and they were not present at that grand ceremony 45 years ago.
Mention of the fact that it's a beautiful day, lovely colors.
Oui, même si la pluie a venir teasing, nous avons quelque chose la pluie a fifini.
Notamment pas tant ça, fifini.
Yes.
Guam.
Et puis c'est comment on parle de la pluie a fini? C'est ça beaucoup de gens qui est ouvert. C'est sûr. C'est toujours ouvert. C'est mon ici qui est courageux quoi. Mais dis-moi, non, mon pas ça rentrer là. Depuis on voit tout but en place. Mais moun bien excité aujourd'hui. Au cas où c'est moun qui venir assise, yo ka vanter ko yo préparer, yo vle ouais.
C'est pas seulement excité ou ça. C'est bien habillé.
Oui, yo bien habillé premièrement, mais au cas où c'est moun toujours excité à l'aise ça. Ou changer comment yo applaudi les premiers ministres on trouve. C'est un moment moun ka garder pour ça.
Si on fouette
pour ça.
Pride, okay.
Queer is the same thing.
Okay, all right. No, I'm not seeing a lot of flags on the stand. I'm hoping at some point we'll see a lot.
Well, you know, we're very flags, but later on you'll be seeing the huge flags. One of the things that I must make mention here today is that we have a ship in port. And I've seen so far some Caucasian people are already here to observe our celebration and to see exactly what we do.
Ouais, saison cruise là ouvert, il a fait sens pour la.
Il pas fini encore non, il a tombé. Bien fort, hein?
Le soleil est aussi.
Bien fort, messieurs, mesdames. Nous en stade Windsor Park, Kameneo
So we are here
Kami
bringing
na
you live.
ceremony là. Oh oui, nous kay préparer kono pour la rentrée président. Première fois,
Ça c'est la première fois, oui.
oui, comme président pendant la célébration indépendance. Il kay tout bout comme président Julian.
Oui,
première fois,
entier, première femme
avec
descend Kalinago. Ça va la position ça là.
Absolument. Comme ça, c'est un pile l'histoire qui nous a fait aujourd'hui.
Oh yes.
Président, la première fois.
Yes, Kalinago.
Right.
You know, and I'm sure the Kalinago people are so proud today, you know.
The reigning Miss Dominica is also from Kalinago space as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of Her Excellency Sylvanie Burton, DAH, President of the Commonwealth of Dominica, and Mr. Burton.
See? They are making the way up to the saluting dais.
And Madras. Well, that's the. Okay, here she comes now in bright yellow.
Inspector Valda Powell is the granddaughter of Jones Powell, who was also an agency for Mr. Cole's Laddie. All right.
Still Annie Burton, PAH, presidential salute.
The Persian troops to present arms as the complement to Her Excellency the President, Mrs. Sylvanie Burton.
C'est vrai qu'elle examiner ces polices-là qui est aujourd'hui.
Je réaliser, à quoi on c'est la première fois, c'est quelque chose qu'il faut apprendre à faire. Et puis, c'est pas lever, on se joue avec dit connaître tout le bagage, il faut apprendre le process là, comment il a fait. Avec mon réaliser là, il prend temps, il part venir bien vite, non? Il prend temps, il marche, examiner, observer, avec puis ça point.
Now they're making the way for the inspection. She's going to inspect the government band first and then the parade and troops. On parade this morning we have 5 platoons, 2 police platoons, 1 from the fire and ambulance services, and 2 platoons from the Dominica Cadet Corps. We also have the color party forming a small group on parade, and a supernumerary rank, that is some excess personnel who are actually on parade this morning. Parade commander for number 1 platoon is Inspector Murphy, with the 2 IC of the parade, ASP Antonio Moses. Commander of parade of the number 2 platoon is Inspector Lyndon Timothy. Mr. Prosper of the fire and ambulance services, and within the inspection, Her Excellency is now going through the ranks of the Music Lovers Government Band. The Music Lovers Government Band has been with us for a number of years. It is now led by Mr. Peter Leighton, who has taken over the mantle from his mother, Valley Leighton. Music Lovers have been with us for a long time. We have for more than 50 years now. Now, Her Excellency is now making her way to the police platoon, number 1, where she is inspecting the guard or the parade and troops.
Oui, nous avons dit, M. Ferrol, merci autant de expliquer nous ce qui a passé là actuellement quand le président Dominique, ça c'est Sylvanie Burton, il a examiné toutes ces platoons là qu'il a à Windsor Park aujourd'hui. Il commençait avec Music Lovers Band premier, il passait par des platoons pour le département police ici, aussi département d'IFE, il est actuellement pour ces platoons cadet corps. Ça c'est la première fois qu'il a fait ça. Nous savons ça parce que c'est président Dominique tout neuf, nous espérons ça. Quand on a dit plus bon, c'est apprendre, il a le nom de job comme il a dit. Quand il a plus habitué, Kevin plus habitué avec ça. C'est un plaisir pour garder un monde différent qui a fait ça, parce que pour bon temps nous garder dernier président ou service un monde qui a fait bagarre avec grand manière avec aussi nous avons madame une femme avec Rodescent Kalinago qui a fait contribution à des positions ça là plus haut position qui ni en pays avec c'est un plaisir pour ça que on a.
C'est un plaisir aussi pour le dernier président, M. Charles Savre, bien acide, bien relaxé, pied en croix, qui a gardé ça qui a place ici. Il y avait certain, il a senti bien fier aussi, comme dernier président pour garder, avait observé session dans différents yeux, en différentes visions, en différentes manières. Quand certains, là, avait aussi parlé là, et puis M. Elliot Williams, qui était au fond aussi le dernier président Dominique aussi. Le président Sylvanie Burton qui a fait la entrée vivre à ce podium là, là, nous allons continuer l'instant session, une cérémonie pour officiellement célébrer le 45e anniversaire de l'indépendance Dominique en stade Windsor Park.
His Excellency the President, Mrs. Burton, is now receiving the salute again as she stepped back on the saluting dais. And the parade commander is requesting of her permission to continue the parade. She is now taking another salute. The parading troops has now come to the present arms. Following this, she will be escorted from the saluting dais, where the ceremony will continue. We can hear the national anthem is being played right now by the Music Lovers Government Band.
Please be seated. Your Excellency, Sylvanie Burton, DAH, President of the Commonwealth of Dominica, and Mr. Burton, Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit, Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of Dominica, and Mrs. Skerrit, Honorable Joseph Isaac, Speaker of the House of Assembly, and Mrs. Isaac, Your Excellency Charles Savre, former President of the Commonwealth of Dominica, and Mrs. Savre, Your Excellency Eliud Williams, former President of the Commonwealth of Dominica, Honorable members of Cabinet and spouses, Your Excellencies, the members of the Diplomatic and Consular Corps, and other visiting dignitaries and spouses, Honorable Jesma Paul Victor, Leader of the Parliamentary Opposition, and Mr. Victor, other honorable members of Parliament, Your Worship Sandra Ermin Roye, Mayor of Roseau, Mr. Lorenzo Sanford, Kalinago Chief, Mrs. Kerry Brady Prince, Mayor of Portsmouth, Chairman of Commissions, Financial Secretary, Permanent Secretaries and spouses, representatives of international organizations, Reverend Dr. Keith B. Lewis, Superintendent of the Methodist Church, Pastor Samuel Augustine, members of the media, distinguished guests, visiting Dominicans, ladies and gentlemen. It is my
Right now we're going to have the Music Lover Government Band going through the trooping of the band. They will be parading in front of the main stage, in front of the saluting dais, where they'll be marching in slow and in quick time. I said the band leader, Mr. Peter Later, has been the Music Lovers Government Band for the past 3 years. He has taken over from his mom, Mrs. Valley Later. Prior to that, we had Mr. Heskif Kazime Desis, who held that position as bandmaster for several years. Band members we see today are mainly comprising of a lot of youth who are involved in the music, and some old folks of the famous swinging stars of Dominica forming the Music Lovers Government Band as they march past or as they troop in front of the main stage on the saluting dais. Say the band is a beautiful attire of red and black with black caps and red bands. What a spectacle! With the podium this morning. The band is now doing a counter drill where they will soon break up in quick time as the troop or the trooping of the band is a two-phase process, slow time and quick time. So they have gone north of the stadium and they are countering to begin the trooping in quick time. Drum major is now giving the signal so they can start moving in quick time as they troop in front of the main stage and saluting dais. Well, we can see some innovation in the drill where the bandmaster was doing his piece. Also, we will soon see the well, they are now going through in front of the parading troops and in front of the dais.
now part of the program where we are going to be seeing a performance by a group, young group. It looks like the Cicero Singers will be the ones doing that presentation of that song. It's drizzling out there, but we're seeing the crowd is actually growing bigger and bigger as we speak. And the beauty of the crowd is, Julian, is the outfits that we're actually seeing, both male and female.
Ouais, c'est le monde qui pense à ça, oui, même, yo quoi que ça, habillé, bien gentil, je dis. Toutes ces madame là, ces hommes là, tout le monde bien habillé. Et bien c'est ça c'est observé. Mon cas, il y a madras là, mais il y a les autres mon cas incorporé les autres matériaux, 12 à la radio pour radio qui mettre à ce jour qu'aujourd'hui. C'est pas tout le bité qui madras seulement, il y a les autres qui ont servi et bon aussi peut-être c'est africain et nous toutes sorties Afrique. So, c'est pas tellement loin.
As we're preparing for the song of praise, sings Gloria, originally sung by Ophelia Marie, the musical lovers band, and the Cicero Singers. Let's take the Cicero Singers and the musical government band.
Sur la terre, mi malais et douleur finit bien. Please bon Dieu, voyez Jésus, c'est certain. Toute la terre qui est obligée de chanter. Gloria, 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 Gloria. Bon Dieu, puis nous actuellement.
Well, we just heard Gloria from the Cicero Singers and that of the Music Lovers Band. And this one originally was sung by Ophelia Marie. And the Cicero singers did justice this morning on our 45th anniversary, singing this one, Gloria. Well, soon from now we'll be preparing ourselves to hear an address by the Honorable Prime Minister. As I said earlier on, and again, cannot stop saying, but we're seeing the crowd actually is growing. What a beautiful song.
Yes. Fin, c'est une belle chanson, même au commencement, il faut qu'il devait chanter ça. Mais ça, c'est le moment où je voulais vous expliquer quelque chose. Quand droit pour
oui, droit pour le président. Oui.
Oui. Comment il a, vous savez, pour qui quoi il a mené là
well, yeah, the flag of the president will only be hoisted when the president is present, because the Dominica flag takes precedent over that of the president flag. So it's important that we note that. So unless the president has arrived, the president flag will not find itself here. And it's also technical in reference to the national flag as to where it is situated when hoisted and other flags are around.
Cecil, sorry to interrupt your broadcast. I just wanted to inform the people wanting to view the broadcast, the Digicel subscriber. The broadcast is available on channel 8 and not on channel 7. Channel 8 on Digicel and not on channel 7. Okay?
And also to all our viewers on Facebook and YouTube, you can go to both GIS and DBS radio platform, and I'm sure we'll be able to have a view. Well, we have always been doing that, you know, GIS and DBS Radio. We have always found ourselves working together, because it's of great importance in terms of disseminating information to the general public and to allow them to understand what is happening, that we always work as two national institutions for the benefit of Dominica.
Ça a aussi éduqué unity. Ensemble pour quelque chose.
We celebrate together, but it's important that we unite in getting things done. And I'm sure that from what we're doing, we're getting much more results in terms of equipment, in terms of manpower. When we put together our resources, you know, we spend less, you know, but we get much more. You know, that's important.
Ça c'est vrai.
And here it is, you know, that we're seeing people still trickling in. I've seen the national flag from a few people's hand, and that's a proud moment, as I said, to many Dominicans. I'm celebrating 45 years. We know today that there are some 5 persons who will be getting the Cicero Awards of Honor, Meritorious Award of Honor. We have some 16, and Service Medal of Honor, there will be some 3. So we have 24 people receiving awards here today. Well, I know that in Cicero Awards we have Carl Nassif, businessman. We have also Martin Anthony. We have Patrick Pemberton. We have Edric Robinson and Daryl Williams. You know, from that of the Cicero Awards.
So you know, ça c'est mon comme Monsieur Carl Nassif, Martin Anthony, Patrick Pemberton, Monsieur Edric Robinson, and Monsieur Daryl Williams.
And it's of great importance, you know, like every Dominican who has worked tirelessly to the development of Dominica, either is in business or in agriculture. It doesn't matter whatever the situation is, that there will be. Let's hear from Mr.
Actually, the Peruvian troops are now leaving the grounds. They are going for water break, so to speak. They will be coming back on parade for the final salute. But during the proceedings, they normally go and rest, so to speak.
Refresh you.
Water break.
Water break.
Unlike the good old days, you know, they had to stay there. You know, they had to move. You know. Right now they are having the water break, and I'm sure Mr. Farrell, you two had to do.
Right, in the past we never used to move away from the Paris Square. I mean, we used to stay there until the proceedings actually ended. But in recent times we've seen that the troops are going to take a break. We have seen some of them fall down and faint during the parades, stand out there for a long time.
Even the school rallies, the school parade itself, you know, And once upon a time, when I went to school, you had to stand in the parade area. Now we're seeing the students have the opportunity to go into the stands and sit. And then when they're called and when they're prepared, they get at the back and come in troop by troop, school by school.
Because actually the presence of the troop on the ground really creates an ambience. The people really come out to see the parade in troops. They want to see the parade. And sometimes people figure out, well, hey, the guys are going, so we need to leave. But no, they're just going to take a water break.
I now invite you to stand as we invite Pastor Samuel Augustine, Pastor of the United Neighbors Kingdom Community,
because Plymouth Gavini,
What is now happening, what is about to happen now is the prayer for the nation. It's going to be done by Pastor Samuel Augustine from the United New Birth Kingdom Community. And then a scripture reading from Reverend Dr. Keith Lewis, Superintendent of the Methodist Church.
Good morning. We give honor, of course, to our first female president, our prime minister, his wife, and to all who are present here this morning. We say, God bless you and good morning. A scripture in the book of Joshua chapter 14, I'd like to read briefly just before I pray. It says, "Now as you can see, the Lord has kept me alive and well, as he promised, for these 45 years since Moses made this promise." He says, "I am as strong as I was when Moses made this promise. So therefore, give me that which he promised." This is a very brief reading of a man called Caleb who learned, even if 45 years, he never gave up. Let's pray. Lord God Almighty, you have done for us, your nation, what you have done for your son Caleb. You have kept him alive. You kept him alive, and so too you have kept us alive. But not just alive, God, you have kept us well. And today we pause to say thank you for your mighty hand that has been upon us, keeping us and keeping us well. We smile deeply and we say thank you. Lord, through it all, you have kept us. Through the storms, through the difficulties, through unprecedented wind forces, through man-made disasters, you have kept us. And today, indeed, we can say we are here because you have kept us. So we give you thanks. In the midst of all the trouble, in the midst of all the chaos that is in the world today, we are here safe and sound. So we give you thanks. We thank you, O God, for all that you have taught us. All that you have taught us. And indeed, we have learned well. In the words of our beloved Prime Minister, indeed, we have been endowed with a resilient spirit, an incomparable fighting spirit that has made us Dominica today. So even as we celebrate, God, our 45th anniversary, we look to you and we say thank you for what you have done. But God, we look to the future with joy, with anticipation, knowing that if you could have done all that for us in the past, then our future is surely bright. So we give you thanks and we give you praise. We trust you and we bless you. And today, God, we rest assured, knowing that someday, in the very near future, indeed, Dominica will be made a praise in the earth. We bless you and we praise you for watching over us, for keeping us, and for teaching us. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
And now, hear the word of God. The psalmist says to us, "Make a joyful noise unto the Lord, all the earth. Worship the Lord with gladness. Come before him and in his presence with singing. Know that the Lord, he is God. It is he who has made us, and not we ourselves. We are his people, the sheep of his pasture. Enter his gates then with thanksgiving, and into his courts with praise. Give thanks to him. Bless his name, for the Lord is good. His steadfast love endures forever, and his faithfulness to all generations. Glory be to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit, as it was in the beginning, it's now, and forever, always. Amen. The word of the Lord.
Thank you very much to Pastor Samuel Augustine and Reverend Dr. Keith B. Lewis. Please be seated. I would like to welcome all of you this morning to the Windsor Park Sports Stadium for the 45th anniversary of independence, our National Day Observance ceremony. Our theme, Anu Celebre, is a call to all Dominicans and friends to recognize and appreciate that although we have faced challenges in the past, there is much about Dominica to celebrate. Over the last few weeks, we have celebrated our culture, our music and arts around the island, at the Botanic Gardens, here at the Windsor Park Sports Stadium, and around the island. On Wednesday, we celebrated our youth, who put their best foot forward, as always, at the National Youth Rally. Today, as we recognize our 45th anniversary of independence, we will celebrate Dominicans from all walks of life for their achievements and contribution in business, culture, public service, community development, social service, and a number of other areas. Let me welcome all of you who have joined us here in person today, filling the stands of the stadium, and all those of you listening via various forms of media in Dominica and around the world. A pleasant good morning to all. Your Excellencies, Honorables, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, on the occasion of our National Day and the celebration of our 45th anniversary of independence, I am pleased to invite the Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of Dominica, Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit, to address the nation.
Thank you very much. Turn this off. Let me first of all recognize our President, Your Excellency Sylvanie Burton, and Mr. Burton, my wife Melissa, my daughter Isabella, and my son Dimitri, Honorable Joseph Isaac, Speaker of the House of Assembly, and Mrs. Isaac, Your Excellency Charles Savran, former President of the Commonwealth of Dominica, and Mrs. Savran, Your Excellency Interlude Williams, former President of the Commonwealth of Dominica, honorable members of Cabinet and spouses, Honorable Max Fernandez, Minister for Tourism of Antigua and Barbuda, and Mrs. Fernandez, Your Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic and Consular Corps, and other visiting dignitaries and spouses, Honorable Jesmo Paul Victor, Leader of the Opposition, and Mr. Victor. Other honorable members of Parliament, Your Worship Sandra Ermin Roy, Mayor of the City of Roseau. Mr. Lorenzo Sanford, our Kalinago Chief. Mrs. Kerry Brady Prince, Mayor of the Town of Portsmouth. Chairpersons of the various commissions. Ms. Corinne Prevost, Secretary to the Cabinet. Permanent secretaries and spouses. Representatives of international organizations. Reverend Dr. Keith B. Lewis, Superintendent of the Methodist Church. Pastor Samuel Augustine, members of the media, distinguished guests, visiting Dominicans, ladies and gentlemen, friends all, good morning. Fellow Dominicans, on this our 45th anniversary as an independent nation, I greet you with a shared sense of nationhood, a strong conviction in our ability to overcome adversity, a genuine sense of pride and fulfillment in our many achievements, and a deep measure of faith in God. Patriots, comrades, friends, let us pause to reflect on our journey, a difficult but rewarding journey, that despite the odds, we have made tremendous gains and set the pace for a hopeful future filled with possibilities. Amidst the silence of our reflections, the profound virtues of our story must be told. We are strong, courageous, and resilient. We are survivors, and we are blessed. Fellow citizens, the current global landscape is perhaps the most perilous it has ever been. We are witnessing the fallout of the COVID-19 pandemic and its lingering impacts on health, social, and economic sectors. People and businesses the world over are still recovering from multiple blows dealt by the COVID-19 pandemic. The Russia-Ukraine war is also negatively impacting food and commodity supplies on which the world depends, driving up prices and inflation. And a new conflict is raging between the Israelis and the Palestinians. Every day, depressing international news cause a sense of fear and uncertainty among Caribbean people, who know only too well that we are never immune to the impacts of global events. To successfully navigate and resist global events which threaten our growth and survival, we must strengthen the relationships and cooperation that flow from regional bonds. Our Caribbean brothers and sisters share a common history, unique experiences and challenges, but with the understanding that we must work together towards a shared, common, and prosperous future. Fellow Dominicans, friends, well-wishers, despite external shocks and natural disasters, the impact of climate change, which have slowed but not halted our national development, we Dominicans have much to celebrate. That is why we observe this year's independence under the theme, Anu Celebrate, Let Us Celebrate. Our celebration is a prayer of gratitude to Almighty God for leading us through numerous challenges. It is a reference to all that we have overcome as an independent nation. And it is a celebration of the work of this Labour Party government and you, our dear citizens, to overcome difficulties. We celebrate the role that women have played in shaping this country. And we celebrate the recent election of Dominica's first indigenous and first female president, Her Excellency Sylvanie Burton. Dominica continues to show the world that we are committed to the advancement of women and recognizing gender equality, particularly in our governance structures. We celebrate that in this country, we have continued to put our people first, to create jobs and opportunities, to ensure our citizens have access to quality education, healthcare, housing, essential services, and support for our vulnerable citizens, while prioritizing our public officers and our productive sectors. We have seen the growth of our small businesses, and just this past week, over 60 small businesses that have benefited from the progressive policies of this government were able to showcase their products and services at the Tea Village Creole. We also should be proud and celebrate the fact that Dominica continues to produce a world-class World Creole Music Festival and maintain its attractiveness and appeal to citizens and visitors alike. In seeking to fulfill prominence and benefits to our people, we have recently enacted new legislation to give greater protection to the rights of women, children, the elderly, and victims of domestic violence to improve their access to justice. We have increased the salaries of nearly 3,000 public officers, resulting in an overall increase of 6%, with some officers benefiting up to 13% increase. Our retired public officers have also benefited from an increase in their pension by 2.8% effective October 1, 2023. In agriculture, we celebrate our farmers and the considerable progress which has been made in agricultural diversification and the increased production of root crops and vegetables for local consumption and regional export. Our farmers are benefiting from investments in livestock production, horticulture, and fishing, which collectively will help reduce the national food import bill, contribute to our food and nutrition security, and bring increased sales and revenues to our farmers. We are working steadfastly towards our goal of achieving the contribution of $700 million to the economy from agriculture by 2030. Efforts towards achieving that goal includes moving the sector to new areas of activity and income streams. We are providing assistance to farmers with financing, technical support, greenhouses, and operating space for startup agricultural enterprises. We are pleased to see that our efforts and investments are bearing fruits, in that many young people are making a career for themselves in agriculture. We want to see this continue and for them to employ new technologies in developing agriculture as a business and add value to our agricultural products. In housing, we also have cause to celebrate. Just 6 years ago, Hurricane Maria dealt a devastating blow to 90% of our housing stock. We have committed as a government and a people to building back better. I can say to you without a shadow of a doubt that this government has built and helped thousands of citizens to build and repair their homes to resilient standards. Ladies and gentlemen, government's policy, housing policy, is about protecting lives and livelihoods, providing safety and security, and increasing individual and community resilience. The indigenous Kananago community has benefited from new resilient housing under several programs, including under the Government Housing Revolution and the Housing Recovery Program. Additionally, they have already received 36 out of the 50 resilient homes funded by the European Union. Prospective occupants from across our country are rejoicing over the 358 housing units which are nearing completion and are expected to be handed over in the first half of 2024. Looking toward the immediate future, to address the extreme vulnerability of residents of Good Hope, Saint-Sauveur, Petite-Soufrière, and Campbell, 327 homes will be built for their relocation and resettlement. Young professionals, the youth, the employees in the public and private sectors will also be assisted to realize their dreams of owning a home with the construction of 50 new homes in Warner and Cotton Hill. Our commitment to uplifting the circumstance of our people, safeguarding their lives and livelihoods, and making them more resilient to the impacts of climate change is undeniable. In health, we celebrate the well-being of our nation's people and unprecedented access to quality health care at all levels. We have been able to construct new and improved health and wellness facilities in 11 communities with funding from the Citizenship by Investment Program. And other health facilities have been upgraded into smart centers with assistance from the government of the United Kingdom. To celebrate, we celebrate the top-of-the-line new hospital in Goodwill with modern facilities and new technologies, a generous gift from the People's Republic of China. And our new hospital at Marigot, funded through our CBI program. Fellow Dominicans, we should be proud of the investments that we have made in developing the skills of our medical personnel and the advancements in the provision of medical equipment to deliver better patient care. These include the new MRI, fully equipped cardiology unit, the Brenda Strafford Foundation Eye Center, the Cardiovascular Imaging Center, and the Telemedicine Center. Each of these facilities will ensure a more resilient and modern health system that is equipped to serve Dominicans as well as patients from other Caribbean islands. These investments have created many new jobs and enable us to provide specialty medical care for our population. We remain committed to addressing the shortcomings within the system to ensure that all Dominicans receive the highest level of care and attention at all times. In tourism, we celebrate Dominica's growing appeal and popularity as a unique and much sought after tourism destination. We have pursued a deliberate policy to improve and expand the quality of our hotel room stock. And now we have several 5-star and even 6-star hotels available, while others are being constructed through our CBI program. The International Airport, the largest single capital project in Dominica's history, is under construction. This project is being funded under the Citizenship by Investment Program, resulting in zero debt burden to the citizens of our country. Dominicans have long yearned for an international airport, a facility that every previous government promised to build, but never did. This Labour Party is delivering on that promise to build our international airport for Dominica. It is no longer a figment of your imagination or dream. You can see it unfolding before your very eyes in the village of Wesley. And I say to you, and God has promised me and I believe him, by his grace, our international airport shall be built in Dominica. My dear friends, enormous benefits to be derived from a substantial increase in airlift to and from the island should not be underestimated. We have already seen a marked increase in stayover arrivals since we established direct air access to the U.S. mainland. In the meantime, we are making further investments in the extension of the runway at the Douglas Charles Airport to accommodate additional flights from the U.S. as a response to increased demand for the destination. Construction has also started on the cable car system in the Roseau Valley and will take visitors to the Boyden Lake. For those of you who are unable to make the hike, you will finally be able to view the Boyden Lake by taking a short 20-minute ride on the cable car. The former president, His Excellency Charles Savin, told me that he wants to be the first to ride the cable car to the Boyden Lake. We are pursuing the development of the Carbridge Marina in Portsmouth. These investments will make Dominica a more attractive place for visitors and result in the creation of thousands of jobs for our citizens. In the environment and physical development, we celebrate the protection and sustainable use of our natural heritage and new physical infrastructure, promoting resilience and serving as the basis for new economic opportunities, foreign exchange for our country, and jobs for our people. We are celebrating initiatives which give Dominica new recognition and status. To encourage activity in the blue economy, we will establish the first sperm whale reserve in the world. Recognizing that, in order to retain our reputation as the authentic nature island, we must protect our biodiversity. We continue to invest in improving our road infrastructure. Major works are ongoing on the East Coast Road project, and we will soon start the commencement of the Louviers to Granby Road project. My dear citizens, ladies and gentlemen, I wish to report to you that we shall go to Parliament on November 10, 2023, to seek approval for a loan from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to implement the Roseau Enhancement Project. The construction of an entertainment complex, which will include attractions for families, such as a bowling alley, built-for-purpose theater, a recording studio for our artists, and a new ferry terminal for Dominica. We have made significant strides in the development of our geothermal plant in Loda. We expect very shortly to sign an agreement with a developer for the construction of the power plant. And we have also secured financing for the new transmission lines from Loda to Foncolé. We are actively pursuing the development of a green eco-industrial park with the support of the Green Climate Fund. This will not only spur industrial development on a large scale, but also attract businesses interested in utilizing clean, green, and affordable energy. My dear Dominicans, I know that there are many of you from the diaspora sitting in the audience today. I want you to begin thinking of the possibilities for engagement in this transformative project. These undertakings would not be possible, my dear friends, without the contributions of our many friends and allies from around the world. And so we celebrate the partners that Dominica has had along this journey, who have stood by our side, supporting every step of the way. Some of them are represented here today. And I say thank you to all of you for your presence and for the continued support of your countries and organizations. We truly appreciate your friendship and your support over the years. I congratulate this year's Meritorious Service Awardees, who have made significant contributions to our nation's development in the various fields. The government and people of Dominica value your efforts, which have elevated the social and economic well-being of our country. While we may not say thanks to you every day, rest assured that as Prime Minister, I have always applauded your contribution to Dominica. And today, by presenting you with this national award, we express that appreciation and thanks to you. Fellow Dominicans, we stand today in this juncture in our nation's history, mindful of the challenges, but still a hopeful people, grounded in an unshakable faith. We shall march into the future, optimistic about the possibilities for our people's development and the opportunities to take our country to greater heights of development. At these crossroads, we understand that personal responsibility, national discipline, and unity of purpose will guide us through. In the spirit of patriotism and love for country, let us commit to protecting our land and its people, to overcoming our challenges, and to placing Dominica on a firm trajectory to growth and prosperity. Let us go boldly forward to celebrate that bright future ahead, working hand in hand, confident that we will triumph, and triumph we shall. My dear brothers and sisters, people of Dominica, happy 45th independence. Anu celebrate, and may God continue to bless and protect this beautiful land of ours, Whitey Kubuli, Dominica. And may God bless each and every one of you as we continue to work together to build this beautiful country of ours. Dominica needs every one of us united in purpose to help build a prosperous and dynamic Dominica. I thank you for the courtesy of listening to me, and I thank you for your presence. May God bless our country. May God bless Dominica. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much to the Honorable Prime Minister for this National Day address. I now have the very distinct honor and pleasure to invite the President of the Commonwealth of Dominica, Her Excellency Sylvanie Burton, to invest with the Medal of Honor those persons on whom honors have been bestowed for meritorious service to the Commonwealth of Dominica.
The Windsor Park, another very important segment. We just heard the address from the Prime Minister of Dominica. And now it's now time to bestow medals of honor to various...
Today I will be assisted by Mrs. Dion Durant-Smith, Press Secretary of the Office of the Prime Minister. For meritorious service to the Commonwealth of Dominica, the 2023 Cicero Award of Honor by Her Excellency Sylvanie Burton, DAH, President of the Commonwealth of Dominica. To Carl Nassif, Esquire, Martin Anthony, Esquire, Patrick Pemberton, Esquire, Edric Robinson, Esquire, and Daryl Williams, Esquire. Whereas you have rendered meritorious service to the Commonwealth of Dominica, now therefore, I, Sylvanie Burton, President of the Commonwealth of Dominica, as aforesaid by this my warrant, do grant and confer on you the dignity and honor of the Cicero Award of Honor, which I am empowered to bestow on those persons who have rendered meritorious service to the government of Dominica. And I do further order by this my warrant that you be awarded the Medal of Honor in recognition of your services to the Commonwealth of Dominica, given under my hand and the public seal of the Commonwealth of Dominica this 3rd day of November 2023. Carl Nassif, Esquire. Whereas you have rendered meritorious service to the Commonwealth of Dominica as a highly accomplished entrepreneur who has fostered economic growth and contributed to the betterment of Dominica and the region. And whereas you first enjoyed a fulfilling career in aviation as a Liat pilot and proudly represented Dominica in tennis, football, and squash, and notably winning the OECS Squash Championship. And whereas you began your entrepreneurial journey and made substantial contribution to the economic development of Dominica with the establishment of the car dealership, auto trade, and subsequently the reintroduction of the KFC franchise to Dominica. And whereas you have enhanced the standard of living for the people of Dominica with the employment of 540 local staff and the provision of grocery products at your various supermarkets, namely Save-A-Lot, Fresh Market, Best Price, and Cash and Carry. And whereas despite the setbacks to your business with the passage of Hurricane Maria in 2017, you embarked on a mission to stimulate the local economy by establishment of new businesses, such as Do It Center, which contributed to the island's economic revival and provided employment opportunities for those affected during the hurricane. And whereas you have displayed unwavering commitment to nurturing personal and professional development among your 900 regional staff, with an emphasis on skills enhancement and career growth opportunities. Now, therefore, I, Sylvanie Burton, President of the Commonwealth of Dominica, as aforesaid by this my warrant, do grant and confer on you the dignity and honor of the Cicero Award of Honor, which I am empowered to bestow on those persons who have rendered meritorious service to the Commonwealth of Dominica. And I do further order by this my warrant that you be awarded the Medal of Honor in recognition of your services to the Commonwealth of Dominica, given under my hand and the public seal of the Commonwealth of Dominica this 3rd day of November 2023.
So Carl Nassif, Esquire, receiving the Cicero Award of Honor. Very astute businessman as well.
Businessman, over 559 employees in Dominica and over 900 in the region. Quite a lot in his manner of wanting to ensure that ordinary people will survive.
Martin Anthony, Esquire. Whereas you have rendered meritorious service to Dominica as a dedicated public officer for 38 years, particularly in the area of child care and child justice matters. And whereas during your tenure as head of department at the Social Welfare Division, you provided advice on the formulation of policy, and you were a strong advocate for children and the less fortunate, with a passion for upholding the rights of persons with disabilities and the elderly. And whereas you were instrumental in meeting Dominica's initial reporting obligation on the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child, and was part of Dominica's delegation to Geneva in 2004 to report on the implementation of the Convention of the Rights of the Child. And whereas in your work as a government consultant, you were the focal point for the coordination of the newly enacted OECS Harmonized Family Bills, and continued to engage in public education on the suite of laws recently enacted in the Parliament of Dominica, and the training of practitioners in the enforcement of the family laws, and have provided assistance and guidance in regards to the newly established Department of Social Services, formerly the Social Welfare Division. Now, therefore, I, Sylvanie Burton, President of the Commonwealth of Dominica, as aforesaid by this my warrant, do grant and confer on you the dignity and honor of the Cicero Award of Honor, which I am empowered to bestow on those persons who have rendered meritorious service to the Commonwealth of Dominica. And I do further order by this my warrant that you be awarded the Medal of Honor in recognition of your services to the Commonwealth of Dominica, given under my hand and the public seal of the Commonwealth of Dominica this 3rd day of November 2023.
The Medal of Honor, the Cicero Award, being presented to Martin Anthony, who has done so much in terms of social services and protection of children, just receiving his Medal of Honor.
Martin Anthony a travaillé ça là longtemps. Regardez côté welfare des enfants, bonté des enfants, développement des enfants, protection des enfants. Avec c'est un homme qui est bien dédié pour ça. Il y a un pile d'années qui a fait ça. Je dois reconnaître pour ça.
Whereas you have rendered meritorious service to the Commonwealth of Dominica through your contribution to the manufacturing sector for 36 years, primarily the Dominica Coconut Products Limited, and whereas your engineering expertise led to the successful acquisition and installation of equipment, while also pioneering preventative maintenance program that significantly bolstered production efficiencies. And whereas at Springfield Trading 1959 Limited, you were instrumental in rejuvenating the Nissan auto sales and service business and introduced renowned brands such as Suzuki and Honda to the Dominica market. And early on in your career as an accountant with Acme Garage and Dominica Coconut Products, you modernized the accounting systems then utilized on the island. And whereas your leadership acumen was further displayed through prominent roles as chairman of the National Bank of Dominica and the Public Works Corporation, deputy chairman of the Invest Dominica Authority, and numerous other key affiliations. And whereas beyond the professional realm, your passion for music, especially the electronic keyboard and guitar, basketball, and auto mechanics testify to your multifaceted nature, and you are highly respected for your contribution to the Calypso art form, having served as the chief judge of Calypso for many years. Now, therefore, I, Sylvanie Burton, President of the Commonwealth of Dominica, as aforesaid by this my warrant, do grant and confer on you the dignity and honor of the Cicero Award of Honor, which I am empowered to bestow on those persons who have rendered meritorious service to the Commonwealth of Dominica. And I do further order, by this my warrant, that you be awarded the Medal of Honor in recognition of your services to the Commonwealth of Dominica. Given under my hand and the public seal of the Commonwealth of Dominica, this 3rd day of November, 2023.
In recognition of outstanding service to Dominica, Patrick Pemberton. Yes.
Played for Dominica basketball national team for many years, and also we have seen Patrick himself involved in the culture or in the art of calypsos for many years as chief judge, doing a fantastic job, and today he's been honored for the work that he has been able to do for Dominica, and I'm sure it's a proud moment for Dominica. Yes. Very deserving award for Patrick Pemberton.
Edric
Robinson, whereas you have rendered meritorious service to the Commonwealth of Dominica as a businessman, photographer, and video and music producer. And whereas in 1978, through your profound interest in videography and capital investment in the art form, facilitated the production of Dominica's first full-length movie, Jesus Christ Superstar, in collaboration with Mr. Owen Bully, deceased, and thereafter from 1982 contributed to the preservation of Dominica's cultural history by creating video archives of all carnival shows and street jump-up. And whereas you have contributed to the development of the music industry through the construction of Nature Island Recording Studio in 1982, Dominica's first recording studio, and created a cost-effective space for aspiring local musicians to hone their craft. And whereas you helped to enhance Dominica's economic landscape and contributed to the development of communities in the south of the island through the establishment of various businesses which form part of Robinson's Enterprises, Inc. since 1979, and the establishment of the New Age Photo Studio in 1993. And whereas with these businesses you have been able to employ many Dominicans, thereby contributing to economic growth and development. Now, therefore, I, Sylvanie Burton, President of the Commonwealth of Dominica, as aforesaid by this my warrant, do grant and confer on you the dignity and honor of the Cicero Award of Honor, which I am empowered to bestow on those persons who have rendered meritorious service to the Commonwealth of Dominica. And I do further order, by this my warrant, that you be awarded the Medal of Honor in recognition of your services to the Commonwealth of Dominica, given under my hand and the public seal of the Commonwealth of Dominica, this 3rd day of November, 2023.
Well, this is another award for Edric Robinson. Most persons call him Robbo. Well known, very popular guy in our community. He has done quite a lot for Dominica and within his space of business.
Oui, Cécile, ça c'est un homme qui a fait autant. J'ai fait autant, un travail qui est important.
Daryl Williams, Esquire.
On va continuer là.
Daryl Williams, Esquire.
Whereas you have rendered meritorious service to the Commonwealth of Dominica in the construction sector, and whereas in the late 1990s you established Ready Mix Concrete Limited, which now employs over 100 Dominicans, operates from 3 locations and owns an ample fleet of trucks, equipment, and service vehicles. And whereas you have, since the passing of your father, Paris H. Williams, fulfilled the role of Managing Director of P.H. Williams and Company, modernized and upgraded the company's operations, and contributed to national development through the creation of employment and the provision of goods and services. And whereas P.H. Williams and Company Limited under your watch has provided employment to over 200 full-time employees and hundreds of truckers, and being an example, a leading exporter of material generating substantial foreign exchange for Dominica, and ensure the provision of quality raw material for major infrastructure projects and homes, and has made a significant contribution to the housing revolution in the aftermath of natural disasters. And whereas you have contributed to community development through the sponsorship of Carnival, various festivals and feasts, sporting clubs, and made charitable donations to charitable organizations. Now, therefore, I, Sylvanie Burton, President of the Commonwealth of Dominica, as aforesaid by this my warrant, do grant and confer on you the dignity and honor of the Cicero Award of Honor, which I am empowered to bestow on those persons who have rendered meritorious service to the Commonwealth of Dominica. And I do further order by this my warrant that you be awarded the Medal of Honor in recognition of your services to the Commonwealth of Dominica, given under my hand and the public seal of the Commonwealth of Dominica this 3rd day of November 2023.
Meritorious Service Award for meritorious service to the Commonwealth of Dominica by Her Excellency Sylvanie Burton, DAH, President of the Commonwealth of Dominica. To Daniel Langlois, Esquire, Dr. Orrin Jolly, Reneth Alexis, Esquire, Son Hauji, Esquire, Samuel Carrett, Esquire, Sobers John Esprit, Esquire, Fabien Adler Hamlet, Esquire, Yolanda John Jules, Esquire, Kendall Johnson, Esquire, Clement Royer Maxroy, Esquire, Alan J. Paul, Esquire, Maxime Victorine, Esquire, Asa Edwards, Asa Banton, Esquire, Gloria Septra Augustus, Esquire, Cynthia Agnes Joseph, and Lisa Evelyn White. Whereas you have rendered meritorious service to the Commonwealth of Dominica, now therefore, I, Sylvanie Burton, President of the Commonwealth of Dominica, as aforesaid, by this my warrant, do grant and confer on you the dignity and honor of the Meritorious Service Award, which I am empowered to bestow on those persons who have rendered meritorious service to the Commonwealth of Dominica. And I do further order by this my warrant that you be awarded the Medal of Honor in recognition of your services to the Commonwealth of Dominica, given under my hand and the public seal of the Commonwealth of Dominica this 3rd day of November 2023. Daniel Langlois, Esquire. Whereas you have rendered meritorious service to the Commonwealth of Dominica in the hospitality sector and in the research and development of new technologies to respond to disaster. And whereas you built Colibri Ridge, located in Soufrière, as a model for sustainable hospitality projects, an off-grid 14-suite resort operated using renewable energy. And since its opening in 2022, Colibri Ridge employs 40 local staff and has been recognized as one of the planet's most sustainable hotels. And whereas, as part of the Daniel Langlois Foundation, you established ResDM following the passage of Hurricane Maria to research, define, design, and implement realistic and viable technological solutions and interventions to improve the quality of life of citizens following natural disasters. And whereas ResDM rebuilt the Soufrière Primary School, destroyed by Hurricane Maria, which is now equipped with supplemental solar power, a water cistern, and a kitchen to feed the public in case of emergency, constructed the Scott's Head Jetty to increase redundancy capabilities for emergency evacuation of the Soufrière Bay communities, and is the founder of the Coral Conservation Action Team. Now, therefore, I, Sylvanie Burton, President of the Commonwealth of Dominica, as aforesaid, by this my warrant, do grant and confer on you the dignity and honor of the Meritorious Service Award, which I am empowered to bestow on these persons who have rendered meritorious service to the Commonwealth of Dominica. And I do further order, by this my warrant, that you be awarded the Medal of Honor in recognition of your services to the Commonwealth of Dominica, given under my hand and the public seal of the Commonwealth of Dominica this 3rd day of November, 2023.
Oui, Mordecai dit ça. Ay, vous, Mordecai dit ça, maintenant, parle la Mordecai dit, mon hot area, ça là, avec ça, hôtel, ça, qui a fait un impact sur la vie, mon, en ça là, c'est un bon petit qui est bien bon. C'est un petit qui est bien bon, ouais.
Dr. Orin Jolly. Whereas you have rendered meritorious service to Dominica in the area of business as a distinguished healthcare professional and an advocate for excellence in the health sector. And whereas you continue to build on the legacy of your father, who established Jolly's Pharmacy in 1980 by modernizing the services offered and infusing a high level of professionalism into Dominica's pharmaceutical industry. And whereas, as Managing Director of Jolly's Pharmacy Limited, you established the Jolly's National Clinic dedicated to health education, social awareness, and community outreach, as well as Jolly's Manufacturing, and expanded Jolly's Pharmacy from a single branch on Great George Street to 4 locations in Roseau, a newly opened branch in Portsmouth, and an online store, providing employment for 183 Dominicans. And whereas under your leadership, Jolly's Pharmacy has garnered numerous awards and accolades, including the Caribbean Pharmacy Innovators Award and the Best Pharmacy in the Caribbean Award from the Caribbean Association of Pharmacists. And whereas you were named Pharmacist of the Year, served as the president of the Dominica Pharmacy Association, as a lecturer in the pharmacy program at the Dominica State College, and you are a long-standing member of the Caribbean Pharmacy Association. Now, therefore, I, Sylvani Burton, President of the Commonwealth of Dominica, as aforesaid, by this my warrant, do grant and confer on you the dignity and honor of the Meritorious Service Award, which I am empowered to bestow on those persons who have rendered meritorious service to the Commonwealth of Dominica. And I do further order by this my warrant that you be awarded the Medal of Honor in recognition of your services to the Commonwealth of Dominica, given under my hand and the public seal of the Commonwealth of Dominica this 3rd day of November 2023. Reneth Alexis Esquire. Whereas you have rendered meritorious service to the Commonwealth of Dominica as a businessman operating in the town of Portsmouth, serving the people of the north of Dominica since 1988. And whereas you displayed impressive entrepreneurial spirit from the age of 12, selling crabs in the nearby French territory of Guadeloupe to generate income to feed and provide for your family. And whereas you founded M&R Trading in Portsmouth, specializing in the sale of cement, steel rods, lumber, plywood, and galvanized, and in September of 1997, branched into the housing sector, providing accommodation to well over 100 students attending the Ross University. And through your business endeavors, you currently employ over 35 people. And whereas you have served your community and country in a number of voluntary roles, including as a member of the Portsmouth Town Council, a current board member of Invest Dominica Authority, and you are the assistant pastor at God's Family House of Worship and leader of the couples ministry. Now, therefore, I, Sylvani Burton, President of the Commonwealth of Dominica, as aforesaid, by this my warrant, do grant and confer on you the dignity and honor of the Meritorious Service Award, which I am empowered to bestow on those persons who have rendered meritorious service to the Commonwealth of Dominica. And I do further order by this my warrant that you be awarded the Medal of Honor in recognition of your services to the Commonwealth of Dominica, given under my hand and the public seal of the Commonwealth of Dominica this 3rd day of November 2023. Sun Hao Ji, Esquire. Whereas you have rendered meritorious service to the Commonwealth of Dominica as the head of the Chinese Agricultural Mission and have assisted to upgrade and develop agricultural technology in Dominica for the past 18 years. And whereas you and your team have collaborated with the Ministry of Agriculture in Dominica to construct and operate the Hillsborough Horticultural Center and the Dominica China Modern Agricultural Center in 1 Mile, and have directed the feasibility research, planning, and establishment of the Dominica China Agricultural Science Complex building, including a tissue culture laboratory for the introduction of tissue culture rapid propagation techniques. And whereas under your leadership, various high-value new crop varieties, such as collar peppers, broccoli, cantaloupes, and dragon fruit, which are suitable for local cultivation, have been successfully introduced. And every year, thousands of farmers are provided with technical support. Students from many schools are offered agricultural training, and hundreds of thousands of high-quality seedlings are propagated and distributed free of charge to local farmers. And whereas these sustained efforts have made a significant contribution to the development of agriculture in Dominica and strengthened the profound friendship between the people of the People's Republic of China and Dominica. Now, therefore, I, Sylvani Burton, President of the Commonwealth of Dominica, as aforesaid, by this my warrant, do grant and confer on you the dignity and honor of the Meritorious Service Award, which I am empowered to bestow on those persons who have rendered meritorious service to the Commonwealth of Dominica, given under my hand and the public seal of the Commonwealth of Dominica this 3rd day of November, 2023. Samuel Carrett, Esquire. Whereas you have rendered meritorious service to the Commonwealth of Dominica and contributed to socio-economic development, having served in various capacities in local government, housing, agriculture, planning, finance, and public works for 42 years. And whereas you first served as a district development officer and progressed to very distinguished positions within the public service, notably as chief development planner and permanent secretary, and now serve as resilience planning and development consultant at the Climate Resilience Execution Agency of Dominica. And whereas, following the devastating impact of natural disasters, you returned from retirement to assist in national recovery efforts, provided strategic insights, strengthened the National Development Management Framework, and helped formulate the 2018 Growth and Social Protection Strategy, National Resilience Development Strategy 2018-2030, and the Climate Resilience Recovery Plan 2020-2030. And whereas you contributed to the development of Dominica's low-carbon climate resilient development strategy, which provided access to green climate fund opportunities, and in your capacity as National Poverty Reduction Coordinator, you played a pivotal role in the formulation of Dominica's social protection programs and legislative initiatives. Now, therefore, I, Sylvani Burton, President of the Commonwealth of Dominica, as aforesaid, by this my warrant, do grant and confer on you the dignity and honor of the Meritorious Service Award, which I am empowered to bestow on those persons who have rendered meritorious service to the Commonwealth of Dominica. And I do further order by this my warrant that you be awarded the Medal of Honor in recognition of your services to the Commonwealth of Dominica, given under my hand and the public seal of the Commonwealth of Dominica this 3rd day of November, 2023. Sobers John Esprit, Esquire. Whereas you have rendered meritorious service to the Commonwealth of Dominica in the fields of culture and tourism, and have for over 40 years worked in theater, drama, festival tourism, and more recently in the development of the cultural and creative industries in Dominica and the region. And whereas you served for many years as Deputy Director of Tourism at the National Development Corporation, NDC, and acted as Director of Tourism between 2000 and 2002, was a founding member of the Dominica Festivals Commission, DFC, and one of the pioneers in building Dominica's festival tourism program, which includes the World Creole Music Festival, Mass Dominique, and Jazz and Creole. And whereas you contributed to the growth of the creative and cultural industries in the region, having served as the technical specialist at the OECS Commission's Competitive Business Unit and as a director of the Caribbean Development Bank, Creative and Cultural Industries Innovation Fund. And whereas as a cultural administrator, you have worked with stakeholders to forge partnerships to build stronger and more robust cultural industries across the OECS, particularly in music, film and audiovisual, fashion and design, and visual arts as a viable option for economic and social advancement in the region. Now, therefore, I, Sylvanie Burton, President of the Commonwealth of Dominica, as aforesaid, by this my warrant, do grant and confer on you the dignity and honor of the Meritorious Service Award, which I am empowered to bestow on those persons who have rendered meritorious service to the Commonwealth of Dominica. And I do further order by this my warrant that you be awarded the Medal of Honor in recognition of your services to the Commonwealth of Dominica, given under my hand and the public seal of the Commonwealth of Dominica this 3rd day of November, 2023. Fabia Adler Hamlet, Esquire. Whereas you have rendered meritorious service to the Commonwealth of Dominica in the energy sector, particularly through your contribution to the Dominica Electricity Services Company, DOMLEC, over several years. And whereas from 1983 to 1990, you were engaged as a generation engineer and engineering manager at DOMLEC, overseeing the construction of the Sugarloaf Power Station in Portsmouth to expand electricity generation, and then served as hydro expansion manager, undertaking a hydroelectric expansion project to include the Loda Power Station and the Trafalgar Power Station. And whereas you shared your knowledge and expertise in electricity generation, transmission, and distribution in senior management positions in the region, namely at Lucelec in St. Lucia and the Anguilla Electricity Services Limited. And whereas you were the general manager of DOMLEC between 1993 and 1997, served as a director of the board of directors for over 9 years and was chairman of the audit committee, and for over 4 decades, Dominica benefited significantly from your knowledge and expertise in the diverse capacities in which you served the country's sole electricity provider. Now, therefore, I, Sylvani Burton, President of the Commonwealth of Dominica, as aforesaid, by this my warrant, do grant and confer on you the dignity and honor of the Meritorious Service Award, which I am empowered to bestow on those persons who have rendered meritorious service to the Commonwealth of Dominica. And I do further order by this my warrant that you be awarded the Medal of Honor in recognition of your services to the Commonwealth of Dominica, given under my hand and the public seal of the Commonwealth of Dominica this 3rd day of November, 2023. Yoland John Jules, Esquire. Whereas you have rendered meritorious service to the Commonwealth of Dominica through your outstanding contribution to community development and as an exemplary and dedicated public officer for 40 years. And whereas during your distinguished tenure from 1980 to 2017 at the Public Works Department, Road Maintenance Division, and subsequently at the Office of Disaster Management as a field officer from 2017 to 2019, you have greatly contributed to local governance and disaster management and was bestowed with a regional award in 2018 in Trinidad and Tobago for outstanding contribution to local government in the Caribbean. And whereas you have been a steadfast champion of community development since 1977, deeply involved in gospel preaching, the planning of village and national events, and made invaluable contributions to arts and culture, finance, accounting, engineering, public health, waste management, and disaster management. And whereas your commendable public journey began as a member of the Dominica Scouts Association at a tender age, you garnered acclaim in your music career with multiple junior calypso crowns, initiated a cherished radio gospel program in Creole, and remain a pivotal figure in Dominica's politics from your early involvement in the Young Freedom Movement. Now, therefore, I, Sylvani Burton, President of the Commonwealth of Dominica, as aforesaid, by this my warrant, do grant and confer on you the dignity and honor of the Meritorious Service Award, which I am empowered to bestow on those persons who have rendered meritorious service to the Commonwealth of Dominica. And I do further order by this my warrant that you be awarded the Medal of Honor in recognition of your services to the Commonwealth of Dominica, given under my hand and the public seal of the Commonwealth of Dominica this 3rd day of November, 2023. Kendall Johnson, Esquire. Whereas you have rendered meritorious service to the Commonwealth of Dominica as a senior civil and coastal engineer in the public service. And whereas in 44 years that should be 34 years of public service. Your work spanned the analysis, design, procurement, and implementation of civil works projects, including the design of land development infrastructure at Canefield, Jimmet, and Chans Portsmouth, quality control for the Roseau Seawall and Bayfront development, construction of the Foncolay landfill, and the design and construction of the Castlebruce Health Center, and sea defenses and roadworks at Capuchin, Gel Lyon, Ascola, Tatan, and Soufrière to Scott's Head. And whereas as Chief Technical Officer and later Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Public Works, you supervised the implementation of major public sector capital projects. And whereas you continue to serve as a civil engineering consultant, offering technical assistance to the Ministry of Public Works, supervising the construction of the road project from Bois Diab to Castlebruce and Castlebruce to Hatton Garden via the Kalinago territory, and the design of a new port facility for Asdime. Now therefore, I, Sylvanie Burton, President of the Commonwealth of Dominica, as aforesaid, by this my warrant, do grant and confer on you the dignity and honor of the Meritorious Service Award, which I am empowered to bestow on those persons who have rendered meritorious service to the Commonwealth of Dominica. And I do further order by this my warrant that you be awarded the Medal of Honor in recognition of your services to the Commonwealth of Dominica, given under my hand and the public seal of the Commonwealth of Dominica this 3rd day of November 2023. Clemens Royer, Esquire. Whereas you have rendered meritorious service to the Commonwealth of Dominica by displaying immense dedication in entrepreneurship, community development, and contribution to various sectors. And whereas through your efforts, the Dominican community has witnessed the growth and success of Max Roy Trading and Roy C. Real Estate and Construction Limited, significantly contribution to the construction needs and development of the country. And whereas as founder and managing director of both Max Roy Trading and Roy C. Real Estate and Construction Limited, you have displayed remarkable leadership and vision, ensuring the growth, expansion, and diversification of your enterprises while making impactful contributions to Dominica's development. And whereas through your entrepreneurial ventures, you have provided employment, supported sports, music, and education initiatives, and have been a beacon of support to various community projects and causes, including, but not limited to, the Catholic Church, the banana industry, and the support of various clubs and establishments. And whereas your continuous endeavors, ranging from the founding of a successful trading company to supporting the education of the youth and the welfare of the elderly, have showcased your unwavering commitment to the growth and the prosperity of Dominica. Now, therefore, I, Sylvanie Burton, President of the Commonwealth of Dominica, as aforesaid, by this my warrant, do grant and confer on you the dignity and honor of the Meritorious Service Award, which I am empowered to bestow on those persons who have rendered meritorious service to the Commonwealth of Dominica. And I do further order by this my warrant that you be awarded the Medal of Honor in recognition of your services to the Commonwealth of Dominica, given under my hand and the public seal of the Commonwealth of Dominica this 3rd day of November 2023.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Duras-Smith.
C'est un plaisir même pour nous là qu'à regarder là.
Alan J.
Soleil là,
Paul,
nous content de bon temps
Esquire.
aujourd'hui, et beau temps. C'est beau temps, pas vrai, pas bon temps. Bon temps sans l'autre bagaille. Et où ça ni bon temps, c'est ni beau temps. Et puis aujourd'hui nous gagnons bon temps parce qu'il y a ni beau temps.
Whereas
Merci bon Dieu pour ça.
you have rendered meritorious service to the Commonwealth of Dominica in domestic and external trade policy coordination, and whereas you began your career as a teacher and the deputy principal of the Dominica Grammar School before moving to the Ministry of Trade and Industry, where you coordinated the transition from the imperial to the metric system of units in Dominica. And whereas on secondment to the Economic Affairs Secretariat of the OECS, located in St. John's, Antigua, you were senior trade economist and provided advice to OECS governments and private sector agencies on trade issues, and represented the OECS and CARICOM at international trade-related technical forums, including the Council for Trade and Economic Development, COTED. And whereas you were Director of Trade in Dominica's Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Trade and Marketing for 7 years, responsible for the formulation and coordination of all aspects of the domestic and external trade policies of the government of Dominica. And whereas you were then the Regional Trade Advisor for the OECS region within the Commonwealth Secretariat, managed the Enhancing Trade Capacity Development Project, and provided strategic technical assistance and advice to the OECS on trade issues and the implementation of regional and international trade agreements. Now, therefore, I, Sylvanie Burton, President of the Commonwealth of Dominica, as aforesaid by this my warrant, do grant and confer on you the dignity and honor of the Meritorious Service Award, which I am empowered to bestow on those persons who have rendered meritorious service to the Commonwealth of Dominica. And I do further order by this my warrant that you be awarded the Medal of Honor in recognition of your services to the Commonwealth of Dominica, given under my hand and the public seal of the Commonwealth of Dominica this 3rd day of November 2023. Maximin Victorine Esquire. Whereas you have rendered meritorious service to the Commonwealth of Dominica as a businessman in the construction industry and through your philanthropic acts, and whereas in 1979, following the devastating impact of Hurricane David on the island, you provided committed services in the development and construction of private homes, offering beneficiaries a sense of stability and normalcy at a time when it was most needed. And whereas through the establishment of maximum building supplies, you contributed to the enhancement of the construction industry and created an avenue to transfer knowledge and training to young practitioners in joinery, masonry, carpentry, and business. And whereas you have dedicated your life to helping the vulnerable in your community, assisted parents to ensure their children received a solid education, and provided employment for hundreds of Dominicans over your many years in business. And as an entrepreneur, you continue to uphold your personal motto, that which you penned at the tender age of 15, to provide a service to the Dominican people. Now, therefore, I, Sylvanie Burton, President of the Commonwealth of Dominica, as aforesaid by this my warrant, do grant and confer on you the dignity and honor of the Meritorious Service Award, which I am empowered to bestow on those persons who have rendered meritorious service to the Commonwealth of Dominica. And I do further order, by this my warrant, that you be awarded the Medal of Honor in recognition of your services to the Commonwealth of Dominica, given under my hand and the public seal of the Commonwealth of Dominica, this 3rd day of November 2023. Asa Edwards Esquire, or Asa Banton. Whereas you have rendered meritorious service to the Commonwealth of Dominica as a sportsman and entertainer, and whereas you first served your country as a cricketer and was the captain of the under-15 national team at the Windward Islands tournament in Trinidad and Tobago in 1999, and a member of the champion Dominica national team in the Windward Islands under-19 tournament in 2003, and was selected to play for the Windward Islands under-19 team in Jamaica and Guyana. And whereas from 2000, you have distinguished yourself for your high energy, electrifying, and often unpredictable performances on global stages, earning the title the Booyah Boss. And you have toured widely across the Caribbean, Europe, and the United States, and featured on the Uber Soca cruise, proudly representing and promoting your island, Dominica, as a true cultural ambassador. And whereas you have stimulated economic activity in your community of Grand Bay through the annual summer event, Breakfast Fete, which attracts a number of visitors to our shores and creates a platform for local artists to develop and showcase their craft. And whereas beyond your musical genius, your unwavering commitment to the community is evident through your philanthropic work, especially in service to the children and elderly of Dominica. And you have contributed to the school feeding program at various schools and initiated the school snack program and the Change for Change program and the Credit Initiative to assist vulnerable citizens. Now, therefore, I, Sylvanie Burton, President of the Commonwealth of Dominica, as aforesaid by this my warrant, do grant and confer on you the dignity and honor of the Meritorious Service Award, which I am empowered to bestow on those persons who have rendered meritorious service to the Commonwealth of Dominica. And I do further order by this my warrant that you be awarded the Medal of Honor in recognition of your services to the Commonwealth of Dominica, given under my hand and the public seal of the Commonwealth of Dominica this 3rd day of November 2023. Gloria Septra Augustus. Whereas you have rendered meritorious service to the Commonwealth of Dominica through your stellar contribution to the legal profession and your dedicated service in the areas of social justice reform, youth and community development. And whereas in 2004, you began your career as a magistrate, attending primarily to juvenile and family court matters in Dominica, the genesis of your lifelong devotion to advocacy for the socially disadvantaged in society, especially the youth, and you have promoted social justice and human rights among vulnerable women, children, and families. And whereas, as one of the founders of FOTA, From Offending to Achieving, you created an alternative program for juveniles and at-risk youth in Dominica through several other initiatives, courageously championed the cause of juvenile justice reform. And whereas through your involvement in film and drama as a producer, director, writer, and actress, spanning various projects, and author of short stories, poems, and plays, you continue to raise awareness of critical social issues such as the incidence, prevention, and stigma concerning HIV/AIDS, climate change, domestic violence, and parenting. Now, therefore, I, Sylvanie Burton, President of the Commonwealth of Dominica, as aforesaid by this my warrant, do grant and confer on you the dignity and honor of the Meritorious Service Award, which I am empowered to bestow on those persons who have rendered meritorious service to the Commonwealth of Dominica. And I do further order by this my warrant that you be awarded the Medal of Honor in recognition of your services to the Commonwealth of Dominica. Given under my hand and the public seal of the Commonwealth of Dominica, this 3rd day of November, 2023. Cynthia Agnes Joseph. Whereas you have rendered meritorious service to the development of Dominica in the area of sports and physical education, and whereas through your zeal and your immeasurable passion for sports, you have helped develop interest in the various sporting disciplines and assisted in the advancement of the sports sector in Dominica. And whereas you dedicated much of your teaching career to physical education, eventually becoming the head of the sports department of the Portsmouth Secondary School until your retirement in 2020, and led the school to countless inter-school championships in netball. And whereas for over 2 decades, you were a national coach in netball, volleyball, and table tennis, organized the Northern Netball Academy, and received the award for Coach of the Year at the National Sports Awards for several years. And whereas in your retirement, you continue to contribute your wealth of knowledge and experience to the development of sports in Dominica by assisting primary and secondary schools during the netball season. Now, therefore, I, Sylvanie Burton, President of the Commonwealth of Dominica, as aforesaid by this my warrant, do grant and confer on you the dignity and honor of the Meritorious Service Award, which I am empowered to bestow on those persons who have rendered meritorious service to the Commonwealth of Dominica. And I do further order by this my warrant that you be awarded the Medal of Honor in recognition of your services to the Commonwealth of Dominica, given under my hand and the public seal of the Commonwealth of Dominica, this 3rd day of November 2023. Lisa Evelyn White. Whereas you have rendered meritorious service to the Commonwealth of Dominica through your unequivocal patriotism and exceptional cultural representation on the global stage. Your passion for Dominica's culture began at an early age through your active participation in the St. Alphonsus Folk Choir. And whereas in Boston, you proudly and selflessly promote Dominica's culture by participating in several cultural events organized by various Caribbean communities to include exhibitions, concerts, trade shows, and church services, especially during the independence season. And whereas your many unique presentations of the country's flag at public events, specifically at the North American carnivals, significantly contribute to Dominica's international exposure, and your undeniable love for country, your passion, and intentional exhibition of your country's culture in all arenas continue to inspire Dominicans both here and abroad as a constant reminder of our home, our Isle of Beauty and Splendor. Now, therefore, I, Sylvanie Burton, President of the Commonwealth of Dominica, as aforesaid, by this my warrant, do grant and confer on you the dignity and honor of the Meritorious Service Award, which I am empowered to bestow on those persons who have rendered meritorious service to the Commonwealth of Dominica. And I do further order, by this my warrant, that you be awarded the Medal of Honor in recognition of your services to the Commonwealth of Dominica, given under my hand and the public seal of the Commonwealth of Dominica, this 3rd day of November 2023. Services Medal of Honor for meritorious service to the Commonwealth of Dominica by Her Excellency Sylvanie Burton, DAH, President of the Commonwealth of Dominica, to Cecil Christopher Joseph Esquire, Marian George, Ashton Shillingford Esquire. Whereas you have rendered meritorious service to the Commonwealth of Dominica, now therefore I, Sylvanie Burton, President of the Commonwealth of Dominica, as aforesaid by this my warrant, do grant and confer on you the dignity and honor of the Services Medal of Honor, which I am empowered to bestow on those persons who have rendered meritorious service to the Commonwealth of Dominica. And I do further order, by this my warrant, that you be awarded the Medal of Honor in recognition of your services to the Commonwealth of Dominica, given under my hand and the public seal of the Commonwealth of Dominica, this 3rd day of November 2023. Cecil Joseph Esquire. Whereas you have rendered meritorious service to the Commonwealth of Dominica as Executive Secretary of the Dominica Hucksters Association, involved in the marketing and export of Dominican agricultural produce. And whereas you performed your function with a high level of dedication and for over 40 years assisted hucksters and exporters of local produce to ship their trade to the neighboring territories. And through your efforts, the Dominica Hucksters Association became a respected entity which educated and supported hucksters and exporters to improve their livelihoods and make contributions to Dominica's economy. And whereas, as the Executive Secretary, you spearheaded several initiatives to provide structure and create opportunities for hucksters to access new markets, and served as a director of the Décor Board and the Marketing Board of Dominica, helping to secure regional outlets for Dominican produce. Now, therefore, I, Sylvanie Burton, President of the Commonwealth of Dominica, as aforesaid by this my warrant, do grant and confer on you the dignity and honor of the Services Medal of Honor, which I am empowered to bestow on those persons who have rendered meritorious service to the Commonwealth of Dominica. And I do further order by this my warrant that you be awarded the Medal of Honor in recognition of your services to the Commonwealth of Dominica, given under my hand and the public seal of the Commonwealth of Dominica this 3rd day of November 2023. Marianne George. Whereas you have rendered meritorious service to the Commonwealth of Dominica as an entrepreneur and through your outstanding contribution to the tourism sector, and whereas for the last 40 years you have made an invaluable asset to the tourism industry and made lasting impressions on the hearts and minds of countless travelers through your unwavering commitment to excellence and your passion for providing exceptional service as a vendor at Mount Bruce, the Woodbridge Bay Port, Rosa Old Market, and the Bayfront. And whereas through your career, you have consistently gone above and beyond to ensure that all visitors, Dominicans and non-nationals alike, are provided with the most authentic nature island experience that exceeds all expectations. And whereas your unique ability to connect with people from all walks of life makes each interaction a memorable one, your profound knowledge and understanding of Dominica and your ability to provide invaluable insights and recommendations to travelers redefine what it means to be a vendor in the tourism industry. Now, therefore, I, Sylvanie Burton, President of the Commonwealth of Dominica, as aforesaid by this my warrant, do grant and confer on you the dignity and honor of the Services Medal of Honor, which I am empowered to bestow on those persons who have rendered meritorious service to the Commonwealth of Dominica. And I do further order by this my warrant that you be awarded the Medal of Honor in recognition of your services to the Commonwealth of Dominica, given under my hand and the public seal of the Commonwealth of Dominica this 3rd day of November 2023. Ashton Shillingford, Esquire. Whereas you have rendered meritorious service to the Commonwealth of Dominica through your outstanding contribution as a photographer and videographer for over 40 years, and as an information assistant and cameraman at the Government Information Service, GIS, and whereas you have covered every major government function since 2002 as a cameraman attached to GIS, contributed to numerous publications promoting Dominica, produced by the then National Development Corporation, NDC, and your photos were used for over 20 years for the cover of telephone directories of Cable and Wireless Dominica, phone cards, posters for Carnival and the World Creole Music Festival and other national events. And whereas you have worked as a production assistant on movies filmed in Dominica and have photographed various aspects of Dominican life for international organizations and foreign media entities. And whereas, as an integral part of the GIS staff, called upon to perform the duties of director from time to time, have operated the lead camera at many National Day of events, to include the broadcast of Parliament, National Day, and the swearing-in of Cabinet. Now, therefore, I, Sylvanie Burton, President of the Commonwealth of Dominica, as aforesaid by this my warrant, do grant and confer on you the dignity and honor of the Services Medal of Honor, which I am empowered to bestow on those persons who have rendered meritorious service to the Commonwealth of Dominica. And I do further order by this my warrant that you be awarded the Medal of Honor in recognition of your services to the Commonwealth of Dominica, given under my hand and the public seal of the Commonwealth of Dominica this 3rd day of November 2023. Let's give a round of applause to all of our awardees this morning. We thank you for your service to the government, to the Commonwealth of Dominica. Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for honoring those persons who have rendered meritorious service to the Commonwealth of Dominica. We will now present a fruit basket to Mr. Burton, spouse of the President.
Well, we just heard from the Masters of Ceremony that a bouquet will be given to the husband of the President for the very first time. I mean, flowers.
Fruit basket.
Fruit basket.
The bouquets are for the ladies.
That men love flowers. Well, yeah, fruits came from flowers. That's a fact. And so the husband of the president has been given a fruit basket, yes. Compliment for the Prime Minister's wife, you know. Yes. And you can see all various fruits of the
heavy fruit basket.
Yes, various fruits of Dominica.
Yes,
you know, healthy, and I'm sure that's one of the things that we're talking about in Dominica, to ensure that we eat healthy, eat local. And that's a clear reflection today, while we celebrate our 45th anniversary, sending a message to the many Dominicans who are viewing and now hearing our voice, that we should eat what we grow.
Avec toute cette célébration, ça nous nie. Oui, of course. Yes. Cancer, pizza, doux, tension, c'est pareil ça.
Qui demande moun, la monte avec go position ça, pas ba mon fruit basket. I'm a flare. I love flowers. I love flowers.
C'est mon changer toujours ça là, là où dit ça.
Oui.
Elle veut mon changer. Oui, mon changer.
Who is also the commandant of the Dominica Cadet Corps, to provide insights into the parade of uniformed officers.
Well, they're going to have the parade of the 5 platoons and the government band, and Joseph Raymond will be the one overseeing this match pass for sure. Again, I just can't stop talking about the huge crowd here.
Oh yes, it's a very good turnout.
I mean,
Very
we
good
know
turnout.
that the stadium has a capacity of 15,000 people, and it looks like here it has close to 8,000 to 9,000 people here. Really, as a true reflection of the joy that our people have in celebrating our 45th anniversary.
Okay, welcome again for just joining us. We are now seeing the parade getting back on the ground.
Well, it's
led by the Music Lovers Government Band, and we can see the
Rosita.
drum
This
major
one
doing
is
his
from.
own thing.
This song is from Gordon Henderson.
Happy Independence
You know, and we saw the guys at the front.
Presently we have
what they were
marching
able
on of
to.
the troops.
They were able to
led
dance.
by
Peter later and the guy who was at the front. I think you are able to give us a better description as to who the position and who these people are.
The band is actually leading the troops, while the parading troops, the police platoon, followed by the fire and ambulance services, followed by the flag party, and then we have the cadet corps. We have two platoons of the Dominican Cadet Corps, the infantry platoon of the Cadet Corps on parade today. We have not seen the sea cadets, neither have we seen the prison services on parade. For some reason, we don't know why the parade commander is now getting in front of the parade, where he's going to pay the final compliment, the march pass, to His Excellency, the President, who will be soon getting on the saluting dais to receive the compliment. On parade, as I said, we have the 5 parading troops, or 5 parading platoons on parade here today. We are celebrating our 45th anniversary of independence. Dominica became an independent state, a republic, Democratic Republic in 1978, having get full independence from our colonial masters. Prior to that, we had the president, a governor as our head of state. Now we have our president as our...
No, the governor was the representative
of the Queen. Actually, he was representative of the Queen. Now we have our president as our head of state, being a democratic republic, basically where the people rule. Okay. All right. So the troops are now, they have now formed up. They are in 2 ranks, in close order as they march on. The parade commander, Superintendent Belgrove Charles, will be leading the parade through the march past. Each platoon will be marching past the Southern Dais and paying the compliment to Her Excellency the President, Mrs. Sylvanie Burton, who will be taking the salute for the first time as the President. Dominica has made history, in the Caribbean has made history, where we have a first female president as our head of state.
Well, preparing for the match pass in slow and quick time.
The parade has just halted. What's going to happen right now? The dressing sergeant is going to dress the parade, make sure that they're in line. We have a frontage, as we say, of five platoons, and we have a depth, which will be where they will be forming up in 2 ranks to prepare themselves for the march past. Sergeant Pedrina Dupini is dressing the parade. She'll be doing the left flank and the right flank, and after that we'll see the commencement of the march past. We have not seen Her Excellency get on the saluting dais as yet. She will soon make her way to the saluting dais to take the salute. The saluting dais is flanked by 2 cadet officers as security, and the Décor, Ms. Powell, will be leading Her Excellency the President to the saluting dais. And as we stand right now, we are seeing them doing that right now. She is now making her way to the saluting dais, led by her aide-de-camp, her personal security, and the Commissioner of Police, in preparation for the march past in slow and quick time. the parade commander has just commanded the patrol or the parade to turn right in preparation for the march past as they move forward and take its position at the front of number 1 platoon. Number 1 platoon is the police platoon led by Inspector Murphy John Jules. Number 2 platoon led by Inspector Lyndon Timothy. And these are the 2 police platoons on parade, and then followed by the flag party, where your 2nd Lieutenant Charles being the flag bearer. The flag, 4 escorts to the flag or to the
platoon
colors
number 1
as
of
they
the Command for
move
Dominica Police Force,
to
Platoon Commander
on the march
Inspector
past.
Murphy John Jules. The troop is taking a left wheel, followed by a change direction left,
In
left
the past,
form.
we've seen the parade of uniform troops being the highlight of the Independence Parade. A lot of people come out here to see the parade. This year we don't have a display as in the past. We only have the mass march of the troops. Number 1 platoon is leading the parade. We see that they have now are now advancing onto the saluting desk when they were doing the eyes right.
Ahead of number 1 platoon of the Command for Dominica Police Force, Parade Commander Bev Gold Charles, and his second in command, Assistant Superintendent of Police Antonia Moses. Please look on as they give the ceremonial salute to Her Excellency the President.
You see the parade commander, he has just given the order for the eyes right, and the troops, they all turn their eyes right as they march past directly in front of Her Excellency the President.
Platoon number 2 of the Command for Dominica
I noticed
Police
that
Force
she's
is
also
led by
saluting
Acting Inspector
the
Lyndon
parade
T. Murphy.
as they pass. We have the 2nd platoon led by Inspector Timothy is now doing his part as he passes the saluting dais.
The flag party bearer is second
Followed by the
Lieutenant
flag, we see the flag bearer
Leroy Charles
now
of the
paying
Dominica
the
Cadet
compliment
Corps.
to Her Excellency the President. All right.
Station Matthew Prosper.
A wonderful spectacle here at the Windsor Park Stadium as we celebrate our 45 years of independence. We also see the fire and ambulance services doing their part with Mr. Prosper as the platoon commander, followed by the 1st platoon of the Dominica Cadet Corps in all the military formal attire as they march past in slow time in front of the saluting desk. They are followed by the 2nd platoon of the Dominica Cadet Corps in their khaki and green military type uniform as they march past. We see Her Excellency also returning the compliment by saluting the platoon as they march past in front of the saluting dais. The troops are now marching by the left, saying that the Southern Diocese is now on the left as they march south of the stadium in preparation to break into quick time where they will be march passing or march and pass in quick time. The band has ceased playing for a moment while the parade commander is giving the order to break into quick time, where they're going to, well, they just broke into quick time and they're going to march past, this time in quick time in front of the saluting dais to pay the respect and compliment to Her Excellency. Each platoon individually will be doing the left form and will be paraded in front of the saluting dais. Parade Commander Belgo Charles and Inspector Murphy is giving the order to Eyes Right, where all the officers will be responding to that command. We have ASP Moses, the female officer this time, as the 2IC of the parade, carrying a sword as a symbol of authority as they march past in quick time.
Forward we go, composed by Chester Later, and the match arrangement was done by Peter Later, who's the present bandmaster of the band. Forward we go was written by Inspector Police Derek St. Rose, was born from the police force, and the match arrangement was done by bandmaster Peter Later.
We're now seeing the last platoon of the Dominica Cadet Corps passing in front of the saluting dais as they do the Eyes Right. The Music Lovers Government Band also be doing their part and paying the compliment to Her Excellency the President on this 45th year of independence and our National Day. Here they go. They are now directly in front of the saluting desk as they march past in quick time, playing the usual song. As they march past, the parade commander is marching back onto the ground where he's going to take over so that we can see the advancing review order, which will be the final part of the parade here at the Windsor Park Stadium in Dominica on our 45th year of independence.
À nous célébrer 45 années avec célébration ça qui a fini tout à l'heure. Nous déjà gros, non, Moussa? Déjà, les enfants, on est même case, on est casou. Vous comprenez? Nous avons Dominique, c'est un pays, il n'est pas un grand pays, qui n'est pas un pays qui est les enfants, mais en même temps, c'est des enfants qui suivent.
C'est un pays qui a débordé, il y a autant de monde Dominique, même à l'autre pays,
Hier, yo jeune yo, et ça c'était un bon jour. Yo parlé avec ces gens-là.
Felix Anderson they oh my fingers. As they just halted, I will say this precision as the parade has just halted in preparation for the advance and review order, which will be the last part of the parade. They're now addressing the parade, making sure or ensuring that they are in perfect alignment. We have the dressing sergeants who are currently doing this, making sure that the troops are in line as they prepare themselves for the advance in review order, which is basically 15 paces, moving up towards the saluting dais. Parade commander has now given the order to his right or his front, and is going to give the command that they will advance in review order. Here they go. Advance in review order. Basically 15 paces and halt. We can hear the applause from the crowd as the parade troop halted in a precision manner. The final compliment is being paid to the access to the President, the General Presidential Salute, while the national anthem is being played. This concludes the parade of uniform groups, formerly the military parade, on our 45th anniversary of independence. Her Excellency the President is making her way from the saluting dais, where she'll be escorted to her vehicle, followed by the several dignitaries who we see here at this ceremony.
And normally, we know that the Prime Minister would do his wrongs.
Usually the Prime Minister goes around to greet the many fans.
But we're seeing the President of the Commonwealth of Dominica, Her Excellency, Sylvana Britton, is making way to her vehicle. And it was a great moment, a great presentation. On showcase this morning.
Oui, c'est ça, c'est belle, mais c'est pour la première fois qu'on président Dominique officier dans une cérémonie comme ça.
And as I told you, the Prime Minister would have done his wrongs. As it's now a staple of the Honorable Prime Minister. You see himself and his wife.
Prime Minister and his family now living the stage, and as usual, he's going to greet the
people,
the pastors. Yes. All the many patrons who come out here.
Brilliant moment
to see this parade.
And you can sense that the people are very much appreciative of this. They're looking for it because they get the applause. They look for that every year, Right. And here it is, he's making his exit, but ensuring that he says hello and hi to all of the Dominicans and visitors who are actually at the stadium.
Oui, on peut apprécier ça même, obligé. Tous les années, ils veulent voir ça, ils veulent un contact avec eux. Vous savez, regardez yon zi, you regardez Yvier, comprendre? Il lève la main par yo, comment regardez, il wave, vous savez? Il aime ça. C'est pas comme ça là.
And that's important, to keep a connection between yourself and your people, the people that you represent, the people that you stand for. So it's very important on the day of independence, the food, that you can really create that connection with your people. And Roosevelt Skerritt has understood that for many years, where he has actually done this. And the crowd actually every year, and Honorable, His Excellency Charles Savrin is himself making his exit.
Oui, dernier président qui a allé, ça c'est monsieur Charles Savrin qui a quitté. Quand on a toutes ces dignités qui a quitté, monde même qui a commencé à sortir en sitio, en chaise, là il a assisé. C'est qu'on a commencé à préparer pour quitter, mais il y a le dernier bout, c'est ça. Il faut regarder dernier miette ça qui fait ici.
Dernier bout là, c'est mon militant là.
Ouais.
Il faut faire un petit bagaille pour eux danser, pour eux chanter. Comprends? So OK voir ça tout à l'heure.
Oui.
Yo même là ka du bout ka attendre.
Ça c'est pause pour eux because yo même yo show
là.
Soleil là. Ouais, c'est nous n'est pas au sol mais pas au sol mais c'est mon ça. And
it's important to note the importance of our independence. We have seen many countries of the Caribbean, Jamaica, Barbados, Guyana, Trinidad, Grenada, St. Vincent, St. Lucia, Antigua, that of Antigua, St. Kitts and Nevis. All these countries have gotten independence from Great Britain. We still have the two French territories who are still dependents of France, and that of Anguilla and Montserrat, they are still dependent on the United Kingdom. So we, as an independent state, 45 years now, as of today, 45 years, is a sentiment of our freedom, our political freedom. It gives us the opportunity to go out there. Unlike before, when in 1967, 1st of March, when we were an associated statehood, where we had this association with Great Britain. That's what it actually means. An association with Great Britain, where they would be responsible for our defense, and we would have been responsible for our economic and our home affairs.
Actuellement, pareil différent. Dominique, c'est un pays qui a avancé, avec résilience actuellement. C'est ça qui est mot là, président Dominique a avancé avec résilience.
And one of the things I like to say though, in all of the countries that have gotten independence, Dominica is the first country when we got independent in 1978 to immediately become a republic, to immediately have a president. Trinidad eventually got to become a republic in the 70s. Guyana themselves follow suit. Then you had Barbados, who is a republic right now as we speak. But Dominica, proud moment for us. We were the first to have what is called a president as the head of state and not a governor general independence. That of Great Britain, still having Great Britain as governor general, still having some threshold on those countries. We have seen Antigua. Jamaica right now is talking about becoming a republic. There's a serious discussion, I'm sure by 2024 that you would have seen them maybe going into full-fledged as a republic state. We were there to see this, but Jamaica still does have a governor general. Antigua, St. Lucia, St. Vincent. Barbados does not have one because Barbados, I think, just about a year and a half ago, that they have then decided that they wanted to be a republic. We have just seen the Minister of Tourism going across. I think I must say hi to the Minister of Tourism. Good morning to you, ma'am.
Good morning, Cecil, and happy independence to you and all of Dominica.
I want to say thank you very much for coming to our microphone. Tell me what the season was like for you.
So far, this has been an incredible season. We had the World Creole Music Festival, TV Ash Creole, and from all reviews, patrons enjoyed themselves. We had a safe and incident-free independence celebration so far. And today was just spectacular with the number of awardees. I believe all of them are very deserving.
We know that we're into the cruise season that's a few days ago open. What's the plans for this year?
Well, as you know, this is one of our biggest cruise season. We have 30% more ships than we had last year. So we're expecting about 222 calls. The first call was well received by vendors, taxi operators. And so we're looking forward to an exciting season. We had an incident because of climate change and severe weather on a particular site. We hope to restore that within a few days. That site should be restored and that crossing should be safe again for cruise passengers. But we continue to see the increased demand for Destination Dominica by stayover visitors and cruise passengers. And I just await when we open our hotels and the cable car project, which we anticipate will double cruise passengers to Dominica.
I can't leave you here by not asking about your Fête La Poète today.
Oh, I mean, all roads should lead to Point Michel today. As you know, we started Village Feast in Point Michel. This is the 11th year of Fête La Poète. This year we'll be honoring our teachers, long-serving teachers in the community. And we have the Booyah Boss on the lineup, Signal Band, who gave an outstanding performance at the World Choral Music Festival. We have JD and we have the King of Cuss, resides in Point Michel. So we have an exciting lineup for patrons. So tonight from 9 p.m. all roads should lead to Point Michel. And on Saturday after Community Day of Service, I want to encourage all Dominicans to go out and get involved in Community Day of Service projects. It's very important that we are patriotic and are seen to be giving back to our country. And the best way to do it is to offer yourself for service on Community Day of Service. We have many projects in the Soufriere constituency. We have a project in Galio. We have about 2 or 3 in Point Michel, 2 in Soufriere and 2 in Scottshead. I want to encourage all villagers to come out and support these projects.
Thank you very much. And let's see if we could get a few other people here so that we can actually have a few interviews with some of the recipients. And good morning to you, sir.
What's up? Hi, how you doing, Cecil?
Daryl, congratulations to you, sir.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I sure appreciate it.
How it feels?
I feel appreciated. Sometimes, you know, well, you do things every day. You know, you go down to your office, you go out on the field and so on, and you sign your checks to make your payroll. You pay your truckers. You do what you have to do, but sometimes you don't really believe that people really even recognize that, you know. But then it's good to know that you can create a living for certain people, have them send their children to school, put a meal on the table. And I've seen that we have so many workers that have been working with us over 20 years, 25 years, even 30 years. And it gives me a lot of pleasure in seeing that, you know. That it is that what we are doing, we are contributing, bringing in some foreign reserves into the country through the exports of material, and the truckers in particular. Having a little livelihood for them, they can go and pay their loans for their trucks, and they know for sure every morning I see them come. That's the place that they actually go to. That's their job, and they wait for the customers who come and buy materials, and so they make a living out of that way. And it gives me a lot of pleasure in seeing that. So I think that award is actually to them as well, you know, is the pleasure that I get from it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cecil.
All right, let me see if I can see one or two other persons. Mr. Hamlet, congratulations to you, sir.
Oh, thank you, Cecil.
Tell me, how do you feel today after receiving this award?
A little humble and appreciative that after that many years, I would say, finally, some recognition has been given on a meritorious basis. So I say thanks, man.
Thank you very much, sir. And I'm going to speak to a few other people. Ashton and Mr. Good morning to both of you. How does it feel this morning?
It's a really humbling experience for me, but I treasure this recognition, this national award. As I said earlier, I continue to do what I do because of my love for my country and passion towards my profession, civil engineering. And I really, appreciate this kind gesture, and I will continue to just, whatever my assistance is being called upon, offer my assistance to the state. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashton. I know your mom must be very elated. Your family, entire family must be very elated. Tell us.
Yeah, I'd like to, first and foremost, I'd like to thank the Creator for giving me a long life and giving me the energy and giving me the foresight to do what I'm doing and what I'm doing best. I would like to thank the government of Dominica for awarding me that award and Daryl for my sponsor. And I'd like to thank everyone who supported me. Yeah, because there's no place better than home. As I was saying this morning to someone, I got the opportunity to go to Bahamas during reunion 88. The Minister of Information contacted me because I could do video plus still. I did not, I turned it down. I got the opportunity to work with, I think the newspaper in St. Martin. I think the Guardian newspaper in St. Martin, which I was getting much more money than I was getting now. They would pay me like 1,100 US. And I was working at Cable Wireless for about 400 and something US, EC dollars. But then I had the opportunity to do whatever I wanted. I could make extra money and the love of country, so I just decided to stay.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Let me see who I can get again. Let me see if I could speak with Mr. Carl Nassif. Sorry about that, guys, but I want to speak to Mr. Carl Nassif. Congratulations to you, sir. Cicero Award.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
When I heard your citation,